excited today because we are going to be interviewing Sarah and Dylan King. Now, you guys may have seen us post about our friends and their new launch with their new business. So today we're going to be diving in about the relationship, work relationship, launching, and some really great information about business. So first off, thank you both so much for joining us today. We really want to know about you guys. So tell us a little bit about you guys and how you guys decided to venture in as a couple.
So Sarah and I are, we go all the way back to middle school.
Awesome.
And started dating in 10th grade. So we just have been together and we just love each other so much.
we're like one of those super dorky couples where we can spend an unlimited amount of time together and not get sick of each other. So we've always kind of wanted to do something together. And actually in high school, we would work really hard to get jobs at the same place. We nannied, we worked at daycare together.
Yeah, in college we went to, it was like a miniature golf ice cream shop.
I went to the ice cream shop, you went to the mini golf bar.
Oh my gosh.
really lame. But then we were like, okay, how can we carry this over into adulthood? We just love being together. And
I love it.
And so we thought, wow, it would be super cool if we could get into business together. It's kind of been this little dream of ours.
Which I love. And I even saw, if you guys have not tuned in to even check them out on Instagram, I encourage you guys to do that, We the Kings, because you guys even have this really awesome video and it shares pictures from you guys in high school. So this is no joke. They're not lying. You guys literally have known each other this long, which I think is beautiful. And the fact it's just not common now. I feel that people are so madly in love and you guys can tell your chemistry, you guys genuinely like each other. And I think that's a cool thing in marriage because so many people, I think in our day and age, kind of give this bad rep to marriage, and you guys are shedding such a beautiful light. So amen to all that. So I want to hear too, because if you guys aren't familiar with the Kings, Sarah, it has had a very successful business. And I wanted to see, now that you guys are starting this new business together, what did you learn from that first business that you were like, we're going to avoid this at all costs, or we are definitely going to be doing this?
Yeah. When I started my business, I started with the intention of bringing Dylan home from his corporate job. Mm-hmm. And even though his face wasn't on it, he was super involved. And so we were so excited to kind of rebrand as With the Kings and have it be both of us because, it was just kind of inauthentic having it just be me when it was really both of us. Mm-hmm. But the biggest thing I'd say we learned in the last business was just that consulting and coaching, that model.
It's exhausting.
Yeah, it's not sustainable and it's not scalable. Mm. And so we worked really hard towards the end of Simply Sarah King, my previous business, to just kind of get away from you're still trading dollars for hours as a coach or consultant online. It's great because you can have the laptop lifestyle and you can work your own hours, but you're still working a ton of hours. And it's just really, I was pretty burnt out.
And not only are you working a lot to get clients, but then once you have clients, that's when the work really begins. You have client emails and client calls. We had weekly calls with people and they were exhausting. And not that we didn't love them. We love helping people, but it was just exhausting. And we got into this business because we wanted that freedom. We weren't really feeling it.
Mm-hmm. And so for this, for With the Kings, the thing we're going to be avoiding is really just private coaching. It's so tempting because we care so much about each person and we would love to build an individual relationship with each person. But when you're trying to make a global impact and reach thousands and thousands of people, you really have to think bigger and be disciplined about really respecting your own time and scaling and keeping your income passive rather than working one-on-one with people.
So the biggest takeaway I would say is just focusing on automation. Online business, that's what it allows you to do.
Yeah. No, and I think you guys just nailed it so perfectly when you said you were exhausted, but I will say there's coaches out there who aren't exhausted, and it's because, and I hate to say this, but they just don't dive 100% in. And I know you guys both, as you want to see your clients succeed. So you're going to do everything you can to make sure they're equipped. So I think when you're giving 100%, like you said, you get burnt out. So I think especially looking at all of the your website now, it looks amazing. I sense this new mission and I can see that you guys, are promoting something different. That is having the automation for sure. But is there something behind the heart of it that you would say is the mission of the Kings?
I would say it's to remove the mystery of being of that it's hard to make money online. It's really not as hard as it seems.
Well, it's really hard, but it's not complicated. It's really hard, but it's like, simple.
Yeah, that's true.
And when we like first started kind of dabbling in online business, I remember looking at it all and thinking like, this is so complex. Like, this is impossible. Like, I can't do this. I don't know how to do this. And we want to prevent anyone from feeling that way, because it's honestly like, once you get a hang of it, it's actually very simple. And it's so freeing.
It's easy to get frozen in the very early stages of creating an online business, just because you feel so overwhelmed by everything that you think like needs to be done. But once we realized what really needed to be done, like we focused on only a few small things, and we left all the other things just behind. We didn't have to worry about those things.
And I think your guys' transparency is what connects so many people, because it's not, you guys aren't saying we're in these jets and we're you know what I mean? And we're meeting up, which is, there's nothing wrong with that. But you guys are just saying like, even just the time to be able to spend with your loved ones, like everyone deserves that. Like why, and let me show you how to do that. So I just want to tell you guys are definitely paving a way for, I think, a lot of people who need your help, who do overcomplicate it because they think, oh, I haven't studied business. I've never done that. It's like, you really don't have to. There's people who've already trailblazed for you, and they're going to share exactly step by step what they've done. So with that being said, I know, Sarah, you'd said like you guys worked so hard in the last, Simply Sarah King, and there was that burnout time. Now you're in this place of rejuvenation. We can see it in your guys' faces, all the pictures. You guys look so happy and healthy. What keeps you guys motivated, or who keeps you guys motivated to like keep on going?
Well, at the beginning, it was our kids. Like, we just wanted to be with each other and be with our kids. Our family was our big motivation. But it's definitely shifted now, I'd say, because we had this business where, like, we had passive income going. We didn't have to work. And we actually hit, like, the season of 6 months, almost a year, where we literally did nothing. We even took up golf lessons, and we were like,
what are you doing right now?
Like, this is great.
We're not actually doing anything, like, for anyone else. We're just, like, enjoying the life we've created, which is fine.
And it was awesome. Like, we got to where we wanted to go, but we realized, like, no, like, our mission is bigger than just like getting to hang out together. It's actually like, we want to make a global impact. And so now I think like the reason we got kind of like saddled back up and got back on the horse and kept going, even though we didn't need to, was just because we really want other families to be able to have this. Like, I think everyone has something amazing to offer the world, but they're so busy in their, everyday lives, just cooking, cleaning, doing the laundry, going to their 9 to 5, doing the things that don't even really light them up. And they're not being freed up to make the impact that they should be able to make them in their life.
Yeah, and doing things that are important. Like, they're making money, they're providing for their family. But like Sarah said, like, that's not what life is about. And we want a business, an online business, to fuel your passion and to fuel what you want your life to look like. And so that's like why we are so excited, because it just makes us so sad when we see families that want to be together. They like love each other. They love their kids. The dad and mom like love each other. They're not like, yeah. So that's what we want. We want them all to be together and have the ability and the choice to make. And I don't think that people think that way. I don't know if they realize that they have a choice, that is what their life could be.
Yeah, I used to think like, oh, this is just like what being an adult is. Like, you have to work. Like, we didn't understand that you could create that space in your life by having an online business to be really present with your family, but also be really present in your community and, whatever it is that you're passionate about, have that freedom to actually spend your time just doing what you're passionate about.
Yeah. And I think really, when I listen to both of you, it's you guys are wrapping up this gift of hope to people that I don't think they even know is out there, because at this point, like you said, they think this is adulthood. I pay bills, I go to work, we cook dinner, we go to bed, when it's like, there's so much more to life. And there actually is hope that you could do this too. And I think for people to see that you both have done that, and now you're teaching others, like I applaud you, because you guys could have just been doing golf lessons and hanging out because you love each other. But the fact that you want to pay that forward so that other people can actually enjoy the same thing, and to know that it's not about the grind, it's just, you don't have to do that all the time. So with that being said, what would you say is one of the most misconceptions of having an online or your own business?
What do you say?
Probably that it's really complicated. Like, yeah. It's not like, I think everyone, at least I felt this way. You felt this way too. When you're first learning about the online space, you think it's so complicated, and that's not true. I don't like how, like, we want to like lift up the veil and like show you how simple it is, because a lot of entrepreneurs almost like have this element of mystery about them. And I remember looking at people who are successful online and thinking like, do they have magical superpowers?
Yeah,
Like,
no, totally.
money, right?
Right. Mm-hmm.
But we realize that it's actually simple, and we want to just help everyone understand that that's just a misconception. It doesn't have to be complicated. It's not easy, but it's not complicated either.
Yeah, it's
Right.
simple. And when we work with our clients, when we used to do consulting, that was one of the big things when they came into our community. They were like, when they talked to us, they're like, oh my gosh, like I was making this way harder than it had to be. And I was getting all stressed out. And like, thank you guys so much for just kind of shining a light and showing me how easy it can be. And so we want to do that for more people. So that's why we're kind of going this direction.
And I love it. And I know that you guys will, because that's what people need is simplicity, because there is a lot of ambiguity and people thinking like, how, they see the lights and the shining and all the good things and thinking like, how did they get there? And you're saying like, we're going to show you, which I love. So in that, I know both of you guys, Sarah claims herself as I'm the realist and Dylan's the dreamer, which we love. So what would you guys both say as you guys come together? What are each of your genius zones?
Oh gosh. Individually, well, let's see.
I mean, I would say as a business team, like we just love automation and we love the idea of like the strategicness behind it and allowing for a business to run on itself. Mm-hmm. But I would say like we both love branding. That's like another thing that we like absolutely love. Like we geek out about stuff when we're like watching TV, we see commercials and we're like, that's so smart. I love what they just did.
Yeah, we love branding. I mean, even like our website and everything, like we actually built that by ourselves, and all the copy, we wrote it ourselves. And other people who are at our level in business, running these like multiple 6-figure, 7-figure businesses, they hire people to do that stuff. Mm-hmm. And we actually like love it so much that we like have to get our hands in it. So
no, and I think it shows though, I think too, because you can tell your guys' heart is in that, your website, everything that's poured out into it. So I think it's great that you guys keep that. It's like that homegrown feel, but at the same time, it's because you genuinely enjoy it. So with that, you guys have seen massive success in these past few years. What would you attribute it to?
God.
Definitely, hands down, Lord Jesus Christ. He has like blessed us. And I mean, there have been just like leaps of faith after leaps of faith after leaps of faith on our end. And we have just followed him, and he's just been faithful. And
there's things that have happened that there's no way we did on our own. There's just too much that has happened.
There were times where I sat down to write an email and I was just so tired and I didn't know what to write, and I would just say a little prayer and then I would just start typing and I would send it. And then in the morning I'd wake up with a bunch of sales and I'd read the email like, I don't even remember writing it.
There's so tired. It's almost like she's like a little tipsy because she just like
yeah.
So that's actually a real thing. Like,
oh my gosh. Well, honestly, I want to tell you guys how inspiring that is. I think for any entrepreneur who's watching this to see that it's not about just the me monster. It's about pouring out into other people, and just to see too that your guys' faith, and not just each other, but in God, and just having him work through you guys and trusting the process. Just know that it's inspiring so many of us, and we thank you for your guys' hard work and trailblazing. So Boss Babe Tribe, we just want to thank you for tuning into our first interview, and stay tuned for number 2, as we're going to be connecting with Sarah and Dylan more on strategic ways and technical ways and how they've launched their business.
Thank you so much for having us, Lindsay. We love Boss Babe Tribe. We're so honored to be here.
Thank you, guys.